And good morning once again, everybody, from the Maravich Assembly Center on the campus of LSU. Welcome back to Baton Rouge. We're pleased to be joined by head coach Kim Marico of the Michigan Wolverines. They are in town playing the UNLV in Game 1 on Friday here at the Baton Rouge Regional. Michigan comes in as the 6th seed. UNLV comes in at the 11th seed. That'll be at 2 o'clock Central tip. Coach, we just had a nice meeting with your players before we open it up. Just tell us a little bit about the path you took to get here. I know you had a 12-1 start, a very impressive win in the tournament, and then you hit the grueling conference play. There's 7 teams from your conference that are in the tournament, so it's not like you were playing, walkovers all year long. But certainly, you've earned your second highest seed ever in Michigan program, so you had a lot of success. Tell us about your road to Baton Rouge.
Well, thank you for that. We did. We had a terrific start, and we graduated an All-American last year, and I think there was a lot of questions coming into the season if we would be able to be the team that we were the season before. And I was really proud of our team and the way that we started, obviously led by the 3 young women that you had up here on the podium. But really, our entire team really took the steps forward to sustain that consistency in our program. So it was a terrific start, and then we headed into Big Ten play. Our league is stronger and better than it's ever been. Obviously, we have a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament, and we had one that was on the bubble that could have gone number 1, became a number 2 seed, another number 2 seed, and a number 3. So that just speaks volumes with 7 teams in the tournament. Speaks volumes about our league. I think our conference play was incredibly difficult. We battled through some adversity in February, like you had talked about. But it's great to have everyone back, and it's great to be here in Baton Rouge and an opportunity to still be playing in the NCAA tournament.
Well, and I asked the players, and before we open up the questions, let me follow up on that, because your second leading scorer was out for the month of February with injury. Thankfully, she said she feels good and she's ready to go. But what did you learn about your team as you're going through that stretch, knowing that there's 17 points a game sitting next to you on the bench because she's trying to get healthy?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough for any program when you lose someone like Layla Filia. She just affected the game for our team in so many different ways. She was arguably our best defender, our most dynamic player, such a tremendous scorer, just an energy kid. So when we lost her, that obviously hurt. But like our players had talked about, it gave an opportunity for everyone else on our team to really step up and really earn some quality minutes. And now heading into the tournament, Jordan Hobbs is a player that got the start for Layla, and she's really shown her ability to be successful. Greta Kamstrader is another player that received significant minutes during Layla's absence, and she's really been able to contribute. So I think, headed into the tournament, it's important that you have depth. And we were able to learn a lot about our team during the month of February. Obviously, it affected some of our games, but I think every team is going to go through those bumps in the road, and it's how you handle that adversity and how you're able to bounce back.
Thank you, Coach. And with that, we'll open it up. If you're joining us via Zoom, you can hit the raise hand button if you have a question for you, and then we will come to you and open microphones. For those here in person, if you have a question for Coach, please raise your hand, and we'll get the microphone.
Hey, Coach Reed Darcy with the Advocate in Baton Rouge. I was wondering, introduce us to your team. How would you describe their identity, both on offense and defense?
Yeah, I think we're led by a trio of players, but then we have a great complement. Maddie Nolan wasn't here today, but she's a senior for us who's had an incredible season. Cameron Williams is another player that wasn't on the podium today, but, gives us great length and great athleticism and really can rebound and finish around the rim. So I think we can really score. We can score in bunches. I think Leah Brown she was named honorable mention All-American yesterday. I think she's arguably one of the best guards in the country. I'm really excited for everyone in Baton Rouge to have an opportunity to see her play. But then we have a 5th-year kid in Emily Kaiser who, reminds me sometimes that her freshman year she played 93 total minutes. I think she's played 93 minutes in one of our games this year. So just her growth and her development and her ability to buy into the process of becoming a great basketball player has been absolutely incredible. So her experience with Leah Brown's experience really helps drive our team. And then Layla is just super dynamic. So I think we're a team that can score from multiple spots on the offensive end and really tries to pride itself on play and defense and rebounding.
Scott Ravelet from The Advocate. Coach, not you, but the average fan may have a chance, reason to dismiss a team like UNLV. Oh, they're not from a Power 5 conference, but they went undefeated in their league, I believe, and the consistency of winning, no matter who you're playing, what they did this year. Just speak to what kind of team you feel they are, and also a player like Desiree Young, who averages a double-double a game. How do you feel? What problems does she present?
Well, first of all, I don't know. The average fan, it seems like everything I've read, everyone's picked them to win. So I don't know about that. They're an incredible team. Any team that can win over 30 basketball games in a season is special. And it doesn't matter what conference you are in. If you can go undefeated in your conference and then go to the conference tournament and win the conference tournament, holy cow, that's pretty special. So they are a great team, a team that I think everyone around the country knows is really good. I think if you watch them, they have a dynamic post player in Desiree Young. She reminds me a little bit of Naz Hillman, who was our All-American. She's strong, she's physical, she rebounds, she scores, she defends. She can do everything for them. And then she's surrounded by some great guard play, as well as a face-up four who can, go with her back to the basket and shoot the three. So they are a well-balanced team. I've seen games, I pretty much watched all their games. I've seen games where Desiree didn't have a great scoring day, and they've still won. So I think that speaks to their balance. They're a terrific team, and I don't think there's any doubt that they're going to be great tomorrow as well.
Andy Amashta, Las Vegas Review-Journal. Kim, just what do you think about this matchup? Makes it such a great game on paper, and what are you really looking forward to tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it's actually a great matchup, and when I think about them, I feel like they're similar to us in terms of they have really a dynamic guard and a tremendous post player, but then a real complement of players surrounding them and some great depth. I think it's going to be an unbelievable matchup. They changed their defenses. They're going to pressure us. They're going to try to, throw a zone at us, throw a man at us, and they run a ton of things offensively. They really try to pick on your matchups. They really execute their stuff. They're incredibly well coached. I just think it's going to be a great basketball game. Probably throughout the country, a lot of 6-11, 5-12 matchups are going to be terrific games. So I'm expecting it to be a great way to kick off the NCAA tournament with this game tomorrow.
There's talked a lot about coming into the game with a lot of pressure. What does that look like to you?
That was a great question. I don't know if that was Victor who asked that or one of you guys who asked that, but what does pressure look like on the offensive end, or does pressure look like on the defensive end? I think, it's definitely a combination. I think we have to play to our strengths, just like UNLV has to play to theirs. We have to be able to go inside out. We have to get Emily involved on the offensive end. We have to get Cameron involved on the offensive end and really try to put pressure on their bigs. Try to put Desiree in positions where she's not only going to just be able to play offense, but have to defend as well. But then really try to take them out of what they want to do on the offensive end. Try to, switch some things up on the defensive end for us and try to make them uncomfortable and go against our length. I think, if there's one area that we have an advantage, if it is an advantage, is we are a little bit longer, and try to use our guards' length to pressure them. Leah's 6'1", Layla's 6 foot, Maddie's 6 foot, to try to use that length to our advantage.
Over here, Brett Martell with AP. I think that was my question, but I don't know if this one was going to be as good. With Layla, and I asked her to, what would you say are kind of the physical and mental and emotional challenges for her? Just because even if she's pain-free, right? Just when you have that long of a layoff and you come into high-stakes games, maybe it's easy to get frustrated if your precision, timing, everything isn't quite there. So where? Yeah.
That's a really good question as well, and that's something that Layla and I have spoken about through the course of her recovery and pretty much every single day, with the help of our trainer as well. Okay, where are you from a physical standpoint, but where are you also from a mental perspective? And I think it was really important, and Layla spoke to this a lot. The ability for her to play in the Big Ten tournament, gave her that opportunity to get back on the court where it wasn't in the NCAA tournament. And I think she kind of got her feet wet in the Big Ten tournament and gained some of her confidence back. She talked about, golly, I don't know if I want the NCAA tournament to be my first game back, with the stakes being what they are, and with the pace of the game being what it is. But playing in the Big Ten tournament, she, got her feet wet against Penn State, and then the next day we played against, one of the top teams in the country in Ohio State, where she played some more minutes and really had a big role in that game, and was really able to go against some of the best guards in the country and defend those best guards and have to score on against those best guards. So I thought that kind of gave her some confidence, and that kind of has made this transition to the NCAA tournament a little bit smoother, and not her first opportunity to be back on the court.
You girls talked about the physical nature of play, and how they welcome it, I guess, and the challenges of playing in your conference. In what ways is that an advantage for this time of year? And you talked about being big at other positions. People think physical is just down low, but it can be all around the court. I guess, how well prepared does that, and how much does that help them this time of year?
Yeah, that's a great question, and when I just spoke about UNLV and their success, obviously we don't have that same record, but we do feel as if the Big Ten play has prepared us for the competition tomorrow. Just going against that size and that strength every single game, and that athleticism, because a team like UNLV is similar. When I watch them, they look like a Big Ten team. A Big Ten team might be a little bit longer, but they do have that athleticism and those pieces and that post play of a Big Ten team. So I think our conference, like I said, we played against Ohio State 3 times, Indiana 2 times. Those are teams that have a 1 seed and a 2 seed. Iowa, Maryland. So hopefully the playing against that competition has prepared us and given us the opportunity to play against that size and strength on a regular basis.
Kim, I don't know if you know Lindy LaRocque very well, but I was just wondering what you thought about the job she's doing. And she's only in year 3, but this is her second trip to the tournament already.
Yeah, incredible. Obviously, when I'm on the coaches' top 25 poll every week, so I've kind of been following UNLV's season all year long. And when I looked up, who was coaching, that name immediately came to mind. I'm not showing my age, but I do remember her as a player. She was a pretty incredible player, and she is an unbelievable coach. The job that she's doing is outstanding. They have talented players, but she's got them playing exceptionally well. They're super disciplined on both the offensive and defensive end, that you can tell that they are following the game plan, and they really buy into it, and they play with a ton of energy and passion. So she's doing a heck of a job, and like I said, they're a great team. Really, really impressed with what she's done, for sure.
Coach, we thank you for your time. Again, congratulations up to this point.
Thank
We wish you
you.
the best of luck tomorrow. Again, Michigan will face UNLV. It's a 2 o'clock tip for the media here in town. Michigan's practice starts in 10 minutes. The first 15 minutes will be open to the media. We will be back here for our next press conference at 12:25 Central Time. That'll be with the players from LSU. And until then, we wish you a good morning, and thank you for joining us here in Baton Rouge.